And hello, movie lovers. So today, I actually have a very special guest with me. As a matter of fact, I got a chance to matter of fact, I actually got the chance to review his film called "Electricity in Me," and it's a very brilliant short film. I really enjoy this film, and now I get to talk to the director Matt Sheldon for his movie. So, hey, Matt, how you been doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, and I have got to start by saying thank you for such a kind review and really responding to the piece.
Oh, you're very welcome. I really enjoyed the film, especially when she's talking the character is actually talking about the fact that she's putting have to put up her kid for adoption, her baby, which is like a hard thing to actually do. And then the way that she ends up telling the story about the details in his hands and the way that she had to give the baby up and hoping that for a relationship with her baby sometime would actually be a cohesive relationship. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And then also too, I was wondering this: where did the idea and the concept for this film come up?
I have wanted to tell the story of my birth mother, Joan, who came to London from Canada when she was 22 as a student, and gave me up for adoption when I was a newborn. I wanted to tell this story for a very long time. I never knew her. She died before I could ever find her at the age of 17, and I've tried a few times, but the catalyst, the opportunity to meet an actor who I've been tracking for a while, who's an incredible talent and who has such heart and soul and skill and talent. Because I was meeting Laura, I knew I had to write something for her, and actually, it, the words just sort of came spilling out of me, and I guess I was ready. I didn't even know I was ready.
Isn't it just amazing how you have something written on paper and then you're like, I don't know if this is actually a finished product or not, but I think I'm going to go on ahead and give this a shot because of the fact that the writing is really good. I also have someone that's actually talented like Laura. So therefore I know that I can actually get this thing done. And I'm also passionate about it because it's something that's actually a true story for myself and maybe very relatable to somebody else. And what was the writing process? How long did it actually take you to be able to do something like this?
Um, I I wrote some of the dialogue, about three quarters of the dialogue, about in an afternoon actually, um, because the dialogue really is lots of different moments from my lived experience, from the diaries of Joan that I've had for many years, which are extremely personal. These aren't diaries of talking about what she had for dinner, although she does talk about what she had for dinner. They are deep, they're deeply personal, very introspective views on everyone around her, her family, about love, about her partner, her therapist, who she fell in love with. They are they're extremely detailed, they're extremely honest, and they were kind of the foundation for everything I know about her, really, about her character. And I mean, really where a lot of the tone of the writing came from.
I can definitely see that, and it's very authentic and very original as well. And the fact that it's very relatable because of the fact that yeah, it's easy to sign on a dotted line saying yeah, I'll give up my baby, but then once you go into the actual birth of carrying the baby for 9 months, and then having to know I'm going to be having to give up my child to another family, that's rough to go through. Because that was like, wait, now I want to have a relationship with my child because I carried him for 9 months and now I'm going to have to go on ahead and watch another family raise this baby by with them, and I'm not going to be able to be with my child that I gave birth to. And that was like the heartbroken moment for me because of the fact that it's very relatable in that kind of sense. And you can see the turmoil in her, the way that her voice cracks, and then also too the way that she's crying, and it's just. And then you have this thing here. This is what I really like was this. It feels like that I'm actually sitting across the desk from her. So it feels like I'm a coworker in this building, and she's telling me this heartbroken story about her having to give up her child at birth. And I think that was a very touching thing because of the fact that it makes it very personal to the monologue and also to the person sitting across from her, which would be us as the audience. And how did you come up with that idea?
I mean, it's a good question. I struggled for a while to think about how can we try and cover some of the span of the things she dealt with, leaving home, leaving Canada. She was raised on a farm in rural Saskatchewan, to come to a capital city. Um, she had a lot of she had a lot of challenges to deal with, and um, that was a big thing for her. But I guess I really wanted it to be very personal. I really wanted to feel like that she was speaking to us. I mean, that thing about speaking. I'll assume your audiences have seen the film, but speaking to us directly wasn't something we did lightly. It did frighten me. I did think, how are we going to do this? And we definitely looked at some materials. We looked at House of Cards actually quite a lot because of the monologues that are in the House of Cards, and how you introduce the characters, because the characters doing a strange thing, that they're in character, they're in a space, and they are playing a moment which is real to them, that they're in an office, or albeit a 1970s office, and then they are changing something to then speak to us, and that was early on. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to work. As soon as I saw Laura do it in rehearsal, I knew we were going to be fine, because she had a way of transitioning from being. You can see her thinking it through, and being in a place where she's getting ready to tell us something, and then she focuses on us. And yeah, I really do like how you've responded to it about saying feels like a co-worker had
Mhm.
was the confidant. And I think,
Right.
yeah, that's I love that interpretation.
Yeah, because the way that you have the camera angle and you have the camera facing the desk, so it makes us feel like that we're actually her coworker, trying to be there for her, trying to comfort her. Then you do this other angle where it goes off to the side, and I like how you do that because it makes us feel like that we're putting our arms over her shoulder, be like, "It's okay, I'm here for you. I know that you're going through something, but I'm here for you as my friend, as my coworker, and you can trust me with your story that you're telling me." And that's what I got from it, was the comforting aspect of the camera at that camera angle, which was very beautiful shot.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, we had an incredible director of photography, David Fuchs, who is a massive talent, and we definitely had a debate about what was the right angle and where should we start from. And I really felt that we should be on Alora head on the character early on, because I knew we'd wear her out. We did it 12 times, actually, and she was amazing in every single one. Um, but I just really wanted to capture her as fresh as possible, and this is why we didn't rehearse much. We only did it 2 or 3 times in rehearsal, and after seeing it 3 times, I just kind of knew. I knew she had it in her. The words were part of her. She was 100% in the moment, 100% able to deliver what is a pretty long speech.
Definitely, and she's very dialed into the role. I can definitely tell that because of the fact that when she goes into this 1970s office space, and then she goes on ahead, sits at the desk, and she's quiet for a minute. And I think the moment of silences are the best way of actually doing stuff because you can build up that tension that she
Yeah,
has for the story. It gives her
yeah,
a chance to
yeah,
actually dial into the character a lot
yeah,
deeper
yeah,
and give her that little break before going into the monologue, which is fantastic. And then when you get into that whole entire monologue, you care even deeper for this character because you're wondering where this story is going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's deep. I love the fact that it's authenticity, and also too, I love the fact that it's personal to you. It'll be personal to the audience. I think people are going to grab onto this. I think this is how. By the way, how is it doing at film festivals and stuff?
Okay, so we've been in 16 festivals. We have been in BAFTA and Academy accredited festivals, including Holly Shorts in LA, which is where it premiered in the Chinese Theatre. So that theatre is iconic to me because of Star Wars showed there, and I'm a film geek anyway,
Same
uh,
here.
and 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 I know that cinema is a big deal. It showed in New Hampshire, Cinefest Sudbury in Canada, and in the UK in Leeds. Leeds is a big festival. Norwich, which are both BAFTA accredited, and then last night it showed in London Film Week. Actually, London Film Week is fun because many of these the short film festivals show two or three hundred shorts. Great honor to be with them. Leeds showed only 14 shorts, and it's a mainly features festival, so that was really cool and really special to be with Leeds. London Film Week actually only shows 7 shorts out of 1,500 submissions. So I definitely was feeling that I definitely was feeling their support, and they show over 7 nights. They show one feature and one short film. So they only show one short a day. And we showed last night. We screened last night before the Cannes Grand Jury winner Close, uh, which was a great honor actually, to sort of have my name on a screen with a director who has made the most beautiful, incredibly naturalistic film, which Can rightly gave a lot of attention to. You know, that was really special. We've got one more screening Monday, and then we are waiting to hear about a few more festivals, but I think we're kind of just about there, and it's been really great, and it's been about 6 or 7 UK festival, other locations. We've had a pretty solid run actually. I'm pretty pleased.
That's awesome. I'm happy that you guys are actually doing a fantastic job at the festivals, and it's getting a lot of buzz as it should. Because I
Yeah,
think this is actually a
thank you.
very important film, though, too, not just to you, but for anybody that's going through the emotions of putting up a baby for adoption, and then having to carry that child, and then also too for them to go on ahead and give that child up to another family. So I think that you have the relatability, the authenticity, and everything else rolled up into one film, to where people can gravitate to it, and not only gravitate to it, but also be able to gravitate towards other festivals and let it spread through everybody. I think it's a wonderful thing that you have here.
No, thank you. Yeah, thanks for being into it.
You're very welcome. And I do appreciate you checking out the review. That means so much to me as well, because I try to put in as much thought as I can into something and try to pour out everything that I've seen in in the film. So it was an honor to be able to review your film. And I'm glad that
What can I say?
yeah, you're very welcome. But I also have another thing too, is like when you're
Sure.
looking at directors and things like that too, what's your inspiration? Who's your inspiration when it comes down to directors?
Oh, I mean, it's the best and worst question, right? I mean,
Right.
you know, of course I could give you 20 names. Um, 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 I'll name a few. I mean, I love Lynn Ramsey. I love You Were Never Really Here, and we need to talk about Kevin, and her short. Actually, Lynn Ramsey made a short called Gas Man that went to Cannes in the late 90s. It's actually a perfect short film. It's like 3 scenes. It's like 20 minutes. I think Lynn Ramsey is a genius. She's naturalistic, and she uses actors and non-actors. She uh, she she she's very economical. She's very careful with her shot choice. She frames classically and unnaturalistically and makes it work. I think Jonathan Glazer is amazing. I wish he'd made more films. I love Under the Skin. I love Sexy Beast. I love Birth. I really love Birth. I think Birth is really underrated. So Steve McQueen, Spielberg, of course, because that might date me a little bit, but I don't know. Thing about this thing about Spielberg, he's still taking risks artistically. He's still. If you think about ET, he took. He did not have to make that film. He did not have to put his career on the line to basically have a guy in a suit play an alien. I mean, that's a pretty big risk.
It definitely
And
is.
he's continued to take risks to remake West Side Story to continually push it. And he made the post in. What did he make the post in? Did he make it in 6 months or 9 months?
Yeah.
And the way he blocks and moves the camera. David Fincher will always be someone I want to check out. Ridley Scott is someone I always want to check out. Andrea Arnold. I mean, the list is endless, right?
Right.
But but
Exactly.
but but there are a few. There are a few. Um, um, but then I watched the other day a Bresson film, Balthazar, about a mule, and I basically watched a 2-hour film about a mule going through a series of owners, and it was heartbreaking. And how do you manage to make a film about a mule and make me feel something for a mule? So I watch anything,
Me too.
actually. I think nearly anything. Um, um, but I do think there's value in enjoying the classics, the masterpieces, the master directors, and I try and keep up with what else is out there.
I gotcha. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there too. Like for instance, all these short films that I watch, it's really amazing what you can do with like a 6-10 minute film versus a two
Sure,
and a half hour movie,
sure.
and you can make someone care about something within a 10-minute period. That's how you know you have something, and that's how I knew that this was special to me with your film. And it stood up with me throughout my work week and everything too. And I'm questioning things. I'm like, okay, if I was a woman, how would I feel about giving up my child? How would I handle the adoption process? How would I do that? And I went through the motives and everything, and too. So I actually watched this on my lunch break at work, and then I came
Okay.
back home. Yeah, and then after that, I came back home and watched it again. So I
Oh
watched this
wow.
film. I've watched this film like 3 or 4 times, man.
Oh
Like that's
wow.
how much I love this
I'll
film
take
because
that.
I'm. You're very welcome. Because here's the thing: if I've watched something 3 or 4 times, it's not just for memorization or anything like that. It means that I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and there was something there that I need to watch again. Because within the dialogue itself, she's crying, therefore you might miss certain pieces. So therefore you have
Sure,
to go back again.
sure.
And then as this camera's zooming in, I'm getting closer and closer to the screen to the point where I'm like, I'm really dialed into this character and drawn into it. So I'm wondering what she's going to say next, and then the camera angle with where we're trying to comfort her. This film is brilliant, man. You have a wonderful film on your hands. I do appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your time to talk about your film.
Of course.
And if you ever want to come back on here again to do anything, let me know because hands down, I want to watch more of your stuff. This
Oh
is
man, thank you so much.
You're very
No, thank you
welcome.
so much.
Anytime.
Thank you.
So that's gonna be it as far as the show goes, guys. But we have plenty of stuff coming out during the week. I have a Home Alone 2 Christmas movie review that I'm doing. I also have a couple of other films that I'm reviewing too during the week. So, Matt, it's a pleasure as always. Thank you again for coming on the show and talking about your film. And always until next time, guys. Bye bye.